Hi there. You know, by now you might have several different levels of worksheets and papers that you're like, what do I do with these? And do I need to keep them? Do I want to keep them? And the answer is yes, you want to keep them for sure. And my advice is you need to keep them. Why? Because this helps you create an awesome system that you can use over and over again. You can organize your binder in order to help you compare your past and your current situation. And you can see the changes as they happen in your body. You can also treat new pains at any point in time using the Body Power System information. And so you may not have time to go back through all the videos and rewatch them, but you might be able to open up your binder, find a few movements, retest them, and treat your issue. I've used the system to the point where I know exactly when I get a certain pain, like my knee feels a little twisted, I know exactly which move corrects that, and I can correct it very quickly without having to test all the movements and take all that time. So it's helpful to have that binder because you can track these bits and pieces of information as you continue to build your relationship with your body and improve your ability to support your body so that you have a healthy symbiotic relationship going forward. You can also possibly use this to help your family members improve their situations by having them do this or that movement. But the further you go in the Body Power System, you also learn how important that sometimes retesting everything is. And you can track the different scores and the different information that you gather as you go through this system. So in this video, we're going to learn how to set up our binder to save all of your information so that you create a system you use over and over again, a system that keeps your body in balance and restores it to balance, because life is an imbalancing experience. As it also creates a system of physical education. So we go to gym class, which now they frequently call physical education, but what you learn is how to throw some type of a ball through some type of an apparatus in order to create a score, right? And if you're good at this, people go, ooh, you're awesome. And if you're not good at that, you deal with maybe a broken heart or those feelings of I'm not good enough. And part of this just is I never really learned to connect with and integrate with my body. And this is changeable. And this is something that can be improved upon through this system. And having a record of this only helps you improve upon it more. So you can also learn the actions that you can take to get well and stay healthy, because it does take some effort to keep your body well. We put less time into our bodies than we usually put into our cars as far as maintenance goes, until the body's completely broken down, and some of the damage may be irreversible at that point. So doesn't it make sense to take care of your body and do the preventive maintenance in order to keep yourself and your body feeling great and working great together and having a strong relationship between you and how your body functions? So in the clinic, everybody who comes in gets a binder. And these forms are available on the website so you can create your own binder at home. So this is just a pretty cover that we put on there. But then we open it up and we go to the cover sheet. So the cover sheet is an overview of the Body Power System. The first thing we do in every level is pinpoint our limitations. That's the testing of the movements and scoring our body's initial response to those movements, so we can find our easy and our difficult side. Then we go to phase 2, which is treat and discover. We do treatment and we discover what our best treatments are and the best way to treat our bodies. And there's additional videos on those, and I talk a lot about those while I'm demonstrating the movement and while we're doing level 2 throughout the videos. And then we do a customized home program so that you can maximize your results from the things that you learn from pinpointing your limitations, treating and discovering the best way to treat your body, and then repeating that over the next several days in order to maximize your benefits from this program. When you write this down and record it, it helps you to remember what you've done, what works for you, maybe what doesn't work for you, so you customize this program and maximize your benefits from BPS. So after the overview page, or the process page as I like to call it, we have the movement number key. This is a guideline, and there's an entire video where I discuss this guideline. But having this so it's easy to remove from your binder and you can put it in a convenient place, so when you're doing your tests of the movements, you can refer back to this as a guideline. So keep that towards the front of your binder. Now we get to the first divider. Now in the clinic, I use a heavy paper and a different colored papers. So you can see that this is a deep purple and it's fairly stiff cardboard. That helps us keep phase 1 separate from phase 2 and then phase 3, because this enables us to find what we need quicker in the binder. So you can print that on a dark color paper. These are the sheets that you can see that you would put behind phase 1. If you look on this sheet in the bottom left corner, it says phase 1. All of those sheets go behind the divider that says phase 1. So when you first test and you're watching the videos for the first time, you write down your numbers, and you see that in those videos. So when you record your numbers, you can go back at a later point in time, because we keep them in plastic sheets in the clinic, so that you can write over the top of that and track over time different movements and the different changes you have just by using different colors of markers and comparing what happens as you repeat these levels in what's called the loop. And I will go over the loop with you in a separate video, because the loop helps you maximize your benefits from this system. So every level that you do, you just add that to your binder. So you can see all of the different levels that are in this binder in order to maximize the benefits and do different movements for the body, because our bodies have an infinite number of movements, and so we have to test a lot of different movements before we get the entire thing resolved, the entire problem resolved at least. Then we have the second divider. This is phase 2, which is the divider for treat and discover. And again, this is a stiff piece of cardstock in the binder that enables us to find it quickly and put our sheets behind that. So you can track your changes, and you can even reuse the sheets when you put them in a plastic sheet protector by using a dry erase marker, and compare how your numbers change over a period of 3 to 5 or even 7 days before you watch the next level of video to maximize your benefits, and it helps you to see that. Now, some people want to keep track of that in one page, and then, so these are the sheets that say phase 2 at the bottom that you can put behind that divider of phase 2 and track what treatments work best for me. I remember one gentleman who said, I said, let's do 20-second holds. And he said to me, no, I want to do reps because reps work better for me. He had his binder and he said, look, and he showed me as he had reviewed what he had done in the clinic, and he said, the reps work better for me than the holds, so I'd rather try reps first. And I said, great, because that was him developing the relationship that I talk so much about with his own body and being aware of what was happening. And the binder helped him to do that, and keeping these records helped him to do that. So it was a gain for both of us to see how that it was positive for him to have that opportunity to realize this about his body. That it might be opposite true for you, or true in the opposite, something like that, where You might decide holds usually work better for you, so you do most of the exercises starting with a hold. That just depends on, again, awareness, learning, and as you record things and you go back and look at them and you go, wow, my body responds the best to whatever that is for you. That enables you to customize this program for yourself and your body, which could be completely different than, say, your spouse or somebody else you know who might be doing this program. But the important thing is your results and maximizing those, right? So when you record things, then it begins to form patterns and you see these changes. Then we have the third divider, which is my journal, progress, and celebrations. In that section, we can also choose to use this form, which is a worksheet for your scores. So you may decide that you want to use this bigger worksheet for your score numbers when you're doing, I call it the in-between sessions. So you do level 1 with the video, you learn your top movements on your exercises, and then you know what your top movements are. So then you can use this sheet, and I have a video on this sheet, which is, I call it your in-between sessions sheet, because now I can do my leg raise, rotate in, and I can record my scores across the top, and they're very close together, which means I can compare different days and different sessions, and it makes it really easy to do that. So I can put that in this section, section 3. I can also record my changes. So the other day, a gentleman told me, oh my gosh, I climbed a ladder and I helped my son install brand new windows in his house and put some new siding on his house. He was thrilled because several years before that, he wouldn't even have climbed a ladder. He said my balance wasn't good enough and I was terrified of falling. He said I had no fear of falling when I climbed up the ladder this time. That's a great thing to record in your journal. Another thing you might record is, I had an increase in pain in an area where I'd never noticed pain before. And as I continued to perform the body power system, I was able to resolve that pain. Or it could be it took me several sessions or even several days before I could fully resolve that pain. But I was tenacious enough to stick with it, and I got the results I was looking for. So when you're feeding the right wolf, that's a different video, by the way, but when you're feeding the right wolf and really looking for those gains, you're going to see them, and as you see them, it becomes very encouraging to keep you going through the process. So I want to encourage you to use that third section to keep track of your progress between the video sessions and notice what's happening in your body and how it's changing, and celebrate those things. Because we think that change frequently, we're like, oh, change, bad. But the truth is sometimes change can be fabulous, and it can mean a difference for the rest of our lives when we really develop relationships and find that balance in our lives. Okay. So I want to encourage you to take the time to set up and put together your binder, print off the sheets, and be able to utilize that binder on a regular basis as you perform the body power system.